Hey, Nicole here with Roots to Rise. We're going to be going through a movement combo today. So we're going to be on the floor for everything, and it's going to really be a nice release for the low back, hips, and glutes for you. So we're going to start on the ground. We always like to start with our hip rocks. So just rocking those knees side to side, just to warm up through those hips. I don't know if you can hear it, but my hips are cracking quite a bit every time I rock them side to side. Good, so we're going to drop our knees to one side so that they're in two 90-degree angles. So I'm just going to rotate a bit here. So while you're sitting here, you want to sit nice and tall. If you're getting a Charlie horse, a cramp now or at any point in time, you can straighten that, you can bring that leg out a bit, or you can rotate it right out as well, so it's straight. Find a position that's comfortable for you. If this is not comfortable for you, we're not at the point of this stretch yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale up, and we're going to exhale over, crashing down, curling that back up. So working through our core for hip release. Good, so this will be on your own time. Everyone's hips and glutes are a little bit different. So I'm going to walk my hands behind me. So my front hand is now in line with my knee. I'm going to inhale up and exhale down, curling my back only as I come up. If you feel stuck or sticky or like there's more opportunity to open up in a certain area, you can either stay high and just kind of rock side to side, or you can bring your body lower as you feel that stretch, kind of rocking side to side and up and down. So don't rush the movement. As you feel yourself open up, you can walk those arms back. Good, again, if at any time you're getting that cramp, just adjust your legs. Good, so when you're at your end point, so I'm pretty much at mine now, I want you to drop that back elbow down and lean back just a bit. So we've got that nice opening through the hip, through the core, in through the quad as well. And we're going to inhale that arm up, exhale, and reach. Then swoop it forward, inhale up, exhale, reach. Do two more, inhale up, exhale, reach. So as that arm reaches, you should feel it reach all the way down that body. Last one, inhale up, exhale, reach. Beautiful. Now let's walk it back. You're just going to do a little counter twist here, and as we counter twist, place your hands behind you and rock those hips again. So you should notice one hip feels a little bit looser than the other. So drop those hips to the opposite side now. And inhale up, exhale down. Good. You might find one side's a little bit looser than the other. Very normal. And much looser on this side. Good, so again, whenever you are ready, we're going to drop that back arm back. We're going to inhale, up, and exhale, reach. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Last one, inhale up, exhale, reach. angles. So we're going to walk those hands back for that counter twist. Good, and you should notice that those feet or knees drop a little bit further to the ground. Next, we're gonna come up and get those hips just a little bit more. So if you need a pillow for your knees, by all means. So we're going to place that knee down. We're going to inhale, push the ceiling to the floor. So my left leg is forward and I'm pushing the ceiling away with my right arm. I'm gonna inhale up and exhale, crash forward. So you wanna make sure you feel that stretch in your right hip. Inhale up, exhale forward. Inhale up, rotate slightly, and we're gonna crash over that knee. Last one. Awesome. Now inhale up and look. So we get that big opening from our neck through to our hip. Or actually our hand through to our hip. Beautiful. Let's switch sides. So find that stretch in the hip. Inhale up, exhale forward. Inhale up, exhale forward. One more. Exhale forward. Good. Push up, rotate over that right knee, or whichever leg is forward. Push up, exhale, and then we're going to look up. Awesome. One more. Beautiful. Awesome. So now that we're on our knees, we're going to stay there and we're going to come into our quadruped position. So knees underneath those hips, about shoulder, hip width apart, whatever's comfortable, hands underneath your shoulders. And we're going to just start with rocking those hips side to side. So this is a nice one to do after a long car ride, after heavier weights, after a bad sleep. Good. Make sure your bum, your tail isn't up or tucked too much. You want that nice natural curve of the spine. So we're going to bring our hips over to the left now, and you're going to look over your left shoulder towards your left hip, but you want to push your right hip away so that you're creating space in through the hip and shoulder. Then we're going to bring those hips to the right, look over that right shoulder. Good, so if you can see me, you want to push this left hip away so you're opening up through this lateral line, the QL line. So it's almost like you're pushing the shoulder and the hip away from each other, creating that space right in there. So we'll do one more on each side, so hips to the left. Good, and now over to the right. Beautiful, and just come back to a little hip shake here. Now as a bonus, we're going to do some spinal hygiene work. So what we're going to do is a little cat and cow. So, but we're going to move everything from our tailbone. So we're going to start in neutral position. We're going to inhale, and from our tailbone, you're going to start there, and you're going to bring that tail up, arcing through the back, and vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing that head to the eyes to the ceiling. And then as we exhale, again, starting from our tail, start to curl those hips under, working your way up the spine, your head the last to go. Bring those shoulder blades apart and tuck that head. So we're going to go through 2 more rotations there. So we're going to inhale, starting with that tail flare and looking up, and exhale, Starting with those tail feathers, curving and arcing. One more. And tuck. Good. So your range might be here. It might be very minimal right now. Your range might be very hypermobile where you're really kind of dropping through that core and really able to arc up. Wherever you're at, that's amazing. All right, the last one we're going to do is through those wrists. So we're going to clasp our wrists together and we're going to give them a little love, a little rotation here. So just rolling them in both directions. Beautiful. Now we're going to grab our fingers with our opposite hand and we're just going to pull them forward gently. So I've already done some wrist mobility work, so I was able to get my arm pretty straight right out of the gate. You might be here. And that's great too. You just want to gently pull those fingers back so we get a nice stretch in through those forearms. We'll do one more on each side. Beauty. All right, so bringing the backs of those hands together. You can stay seated with this, this is no problem. And you're going to bring up and down. Make sure when you come up, you don't shrug those shoulders. You want to keep those shoulders down. So you might just be here because you want to maintain that connection of the backs of the palms. This is great too. Good, so coming up and down. We'll do one more. You're going to clasp those fingers together again. Bring those palms out and you're going to bring those pinky fingers towards me. So you don't want to flare up, you just want to flare out. So again, might be very small range, you might have a lot of range, you might feel nothing at all with this, and that's great, but you are doing some good work here. Good, and we'll do one more. And then bring those palms together and we'll finish off with a nice roll of the wrists. Wonderful. So there you go. There's a nice little movement combo for the low back and the wrists, low back, hips, and the wrists. So enjoy.